Hi guys, it's Claire.
Hi, I'm Jerson.
Hi, my name is Anthony. The problem to climate change is fossil fuels. Fossil fuels such as coal release large amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, creating a greenhouse effect. The chemical traps heat coming from the sun on the planet. This increases the average temperature of the planet, creating a hazardous effects. The scary thing is that we are only releasing more of it as time progresses. Society is becoming more and more dependable on fossil fuels as an energy source. However, this is not the only resource. We have biofuels, a more sustainable resource. What are biofuels? Biofuels, like ethanol, are a more sustainable form of energy resource. It can be used in place for petroleum, coal, propane, and natural gas. Biofuels are produced by chemical processes like agriculture and anaerobic digestion. Unlike fossil fuels, the production and usage of biofuels emits low levels of carbon dioxide. This, in return, can help us along our path of stabilizing the climate.
Variations of biofuels have been around for centuries. Way back when, these included items such as whale oil and olive oil. Solid biofuels such as wood, dung, and charcoal were also used. The infamous Henry Ford created a loose version of modern-day biofuels derived from ethanol and turpentine. After discovering fossil fuels' vast usages, the need for it became endless a little before World War I, and with that also came shortages. After this, the ethanol and gasoline blend became very popular as an alternative. Since then, there have been several comparable oil crises between 1970 and 1990, the most significant one being the oil embargo during 1973 and 1974. Due to the obvious favoritism towards Israel during the Arab-Israeli War, Arab oil producers cut off gas exports to the U.S. to retaliate against their bias. This caused a huge increase in gas prices. To compensate for the large ethanol demand, deforestation in the Amazon forest has expanded immensely. Deforestation in Brazil also causes a hiccup in biodiversity, maintaining a steady rainfall cycle and dodging potential global warming. The moist climate of the tropics make it a desirable area to grow the most fruitful vegetation. Land use for ethanol has been consistently increasing since 2000 and nearly doubled during 1990 and 2008. In an article written by Rhett Butler, he mentions that over 8% of the 14% of the world's rainforests have been consumed, and an estimated acre and a half is being lost every second. Many species have been lost due to this overexertion, and their homes have been destroyed. On top of the organism-related losses caused by cutting down rainforests, deforestation causes a massive increase in carbon emission. As trees are being cut down, they are releasing their built-up carbon that was not able to be used to its fullest extent during photosynthesis. In the long-term view, biofuels have a similar effect to fossil fuels in terms of carbon discharge.
CO2 emissions from fossil fuels. Fossil fuels like coal release a staggering amount of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. According to Environmental Protection Agency, a typical passenger vehicle releases about 4.6 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year. Can you imagine that with everybody else's car in the world? One might say, so you're telling me we need to worry about energy generation too? The answer is yes. According to Energy Information Administration, the U.S. electric power sector alone releases about 1,744 million metric tons of CO2 into the atmosphere in 2017. And like previously stated, these numbers are only getting larger as time goes on. But how will biofuels help? Well, biofuels have the potential to be carbon neutral. The amount of carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere can be recycled again by the crops being used to produce the biofuels themselves. This means that biofuels will not continue to increase the amounts of CO2 found in the atmosphere like fossil fuels would and do. Rather than a human-caused catalyst of global warming from the usage of fossil fuels, we can limit our impact on the rate of warming on the planet by using biofuels instead.
Our town used to be such a beautiful place. When you drove in, you were welcomed by these huge trees, lively animals, and a river that flowed through the town, always so inviting. All you wanted to do was jump in. We never knew that this picture-perfect town would become just that, a picture. As our society grew more conscious about the effects of fossil fuels, it was easy to support the transition to biofuels. Biofuels seemed like the better option since they were from a renewable resource and didn't really cost much. However, we didn't really take into consideration the indirect land use change. Frankly, by the time that we realized this was a problem, it was too late. Farmlands had extended into our beautiful forests to create production, and just like that, the forests were gone. I'd never seen so much sky before. However, not long after that, the smog began to build up. Because of the lack of trees, our clean air soon was replaced by smog. Since the carbon dioxide had nowhere to go, it just stayed in the air. Deforestation caused the river to dry up, and without a source of water, most of the animals either died off or moved away. Our town used to be such a beautiful place. We never knew that this picture-perfect town would become just that, a picture. The vision we see for the future is to transition into a renewable source of energy that does not harm the environment. Our goal is to reduce greenhouse gas, which will then create a more sustainable and greener planet. Cellulosic biofuel is fuel made from the waste of grasses, wood, algae, and other plants. However, the aim is not to have it come from just one source like agricultural waste or wood pulp. This process needs to be flexible, so we can use whatever source is available to us. Kelsey McNeely, lead scientist at ExxonMobil's Biofuels Research and Development Program, says that producing diesel fuel from plant waste in this way would be a great benefit for society. It could transform plant waste into a revenue-earning resource for farmers, foresters, and others. And it could cut greenhouse gas emissions from the vehicles that use it, like trucks, trains, boats, cars, and even planes, by more than 50%. That is the vision that we see for this future.